I think it's so important to have strong women as role models in films, especially as a Black woman, biracial woman. I think it's so important. I feel like growing up, I saw like Zendaya or
Yes.
Raven Simone, even Angela Bassett, who's my favorite, my idol. Um, Watching them be these strong leads really inspired me in my life. So I would love to be able to do that for other people.
Who is Candace Joy?
Candace Joy is a daughter, a sister, a friend, a lover, a musician, an actress, an artist.
And how long have you been acting?
I have been acting since I was really young. I started in musical theater and doing small plays. And about 2 years ago, I moved to the West Coast to pursue it.
Oh, wow. So you've recently moved to the West Coast. How's that transition been for you?
Yeah, it's been amazing. I love it out here. I'm originally from Michigan. Um, so definitely a different vibe, but I feel so blessed to be out here for sure.
What part of Michigan?
Metro Detroit.
Oh, wow. Okay. Yeah, so it's definitely been a change for you quite a bit, I'm sure.
Yes, but the weather is much nicer, so I'm appreciative.
Right, right. Did you go to school for acting at all, or are you self-taught?
Yeah, so I went to a performing arts high school and I learned a bit there. I did training all throughout like middle school and even in elementary school. I was taking classes, but this past year I got myself into more challenging classes. I go to DK Acting School in Vegas, and that has been an amazing experience for sure.
Let's talk a little bit about that, if you don't mind. So
Yeah.
what are some of the things that you are learning while you're at DK Acting School?
I think personally, for me personally, I think I learned how to be confident in my choices. I
Mhm.
think before I was a little bit shy to get up in front of people, and I think
Mhm.
that class just yeah really helped me with confidence. But we learned scene studies, so we practiced how to learn lines, how to get a manager.
I'm glad you brought that up. Can you talk a little bit about the confidence that's needed when you walk into a room for an audition?
Whew, you need a lot of confidence. You
Uh-huh.
need a lot of confidence in this industry because um, you're not going to be everyone's cup of tea. And that can be challenging sometimes, especially when you really want a role and the role wasn't meant for you. That can be challenging. So you need the confidence to be able to walk away from that. Also, I feel like having the confidence when you walk in and talk to casting directors or managers, um, people are only going to take you as seriously as you take yourself. So it's important to master that for sure.
And you've recently signed to the Green Room, is that correct?
Yes, I did.
Congratulations. Um,
Thank you.
can you talk a little bit about what that process was like? How did the Green Room discover you?
I had my manager Sasha. She reached out to me through Instagram,
Okay.
and we had a really amazing phone call, and I think that we had such similar ideas for what I wanted my career to look like, and so I decided to go with her, and that's been a great experience so far.
So Sasha has also worked with Shaquita Smith. I'm not sure if you're familiar with Shaquita Smith. I didn't realize that Sasha was your manager as well.
Yes, yes,
Awesome.
I do know. Yeah, she's on Wicked City. Is that Wicked
Yes.
City?
Yes.
Yes, yes, yeah,
She's
great
on Wicked
show.
City as Jordan Davis. Yep.
Yes.
Awesome. Okay. Before you signed to the Green Room, how were you booking your roles?
So before I was signed to the Green Room, I was doing a lot of commercials,
Mhm.
and then I also had it was pretty life changing. I just filmed a movie First Friday, and that was basically all through Instagram and networking. I found the director on Instagram, and we had a conversation through Instagram. Instagram's a great key, and we went through there. Then I met them in person. I went and met the producers.
Okay, awesome.
So that's how I booked that role. Yeah.
Okay. And I saw that you recently starred as the lead for First Friday. I saw that through your social media, actually. What was that process like? What was that experience like for you?
And I would say that when I was filming that movie, I was probably one of the happiest that I've ever been in my life.
Mhm.
It was an amazing process. It was so difficult. Um, it was a very physical movie. Of course, we're filming in Las Vegas and it's hot, and I had on ski masks and heavy clothes. So it was very intense. Like I was kicking down doors, and I wasn't really prepared for that. Um, but we got through it. We got through it. It was hard work, but it was so much fun.
Are you able to talk a little bit about what the movie is about?
Yeah, so mostly when you think of Las Vegas movies, you think of movies on the strip, you think of gambling and strippers, all of that stuff. But this movie is more about the locals that live in Las Vegas, specifically in the art district. It's about a group of friends that are just trying to make a way for themselves in the world, um, and they get into a little bit of trouble on the way.
That sounds pretty interesting. I'm looking forward to checking out the film once it's released. It's not out yet, is it?
It's not out. It should be out next year, and I'm hoping for the trailer to be out by the end of this year.
Oh wow. And is that it's an indie film or is it a major production?
Yeah, it's an indie film, so I think that was also what made the experience like so special. Was it was a smaller group of people, and we all were so vulnerable during those characters or um, during those moments that we all bonded so quickly, and it was just such a magical experience to have that on set.
Talk a little bit about your character in the film. Who do you play, and like what's the character's name and what's their role?
Yeah, so I play Tiana. Tiana is it's me and my brother are the lead. My brother is Trey, and his name is actually Trey. His name's Trey Rojo. Um, and I play a sister that I have a podcast, and I'm a little bit of like a controlling sister.
Mhm.
And the character is definitely nothing like me. The character was nothing like me. The character is very spontaneous and wild, and doesn't really think a lot of things through, which I overthink everything.
Mhm.
But that was so fun to play, to get out of my element and be able to um, just create and give people Tiana's story.
Now, speaking about getting out of your element and the character being the exact opposite of who you are, how do you draw that? How do you bring that forth to the camera?
Yeah, so everyone's process is different. I think my process was mostly I memorized the lines first.
Mhm.
Um and I memorized them to the point where I didn't really need to think about them anymore. I could just say them. And then I studied different kind of people, how people would react like while they're robbing a bank, like how that may go. Um so I studied all of that, and then when I got on to set, I I don't know how to describe it. I feel like it's just like a switch. You know your lines, and like you know the moment, and you just go with it. You kind of like plan it, you practice, you rehearse, you're ready to go, and then you get on set and it kind of just all goes out the window and you're in this character. But while I was filming it, I will say we filmed for about 2 weeks. I felt like I was like Tiana the whole time. Like it was a very like cool feeling to be like two different people, but to go on to set and be like, okay, I'm Tiana now.
Are you the type of actor that likes to stay in character, or do you turn it on, turn it off, in between takes?
Yeah. See, I didn't think that I would be like that. I didn't think that I would really stay in character. Um, but I think I did. Like I think, yeah, like this is my brother. Like, I really did. I really did feel like, oh, like Bella, that's my friend. So I felt like it was a little bit easier for me to just be ready on the fly. Also, we filmed it in 2 weeks and it's a full length movie, so it was a lot. Um, so it was quick. The takes were very quick and we didn't have much time in between. So it was very easy to stay in character the whole day.
What are some of the other projects that you've been on?
Yeah, so I am in a Netflix show that's going to be coming out on November 30th called Obliterated. It's just a small role in that one. I also have some other things with Netflix. I've done Christmas movies, I've done extra work. I tried to get as much experience as I could in extra work, I feel like, in the beginning. And I think that helped me so much, being able to carry myself on set and what to expect and yeah, like know what the hours look like, know that you'll be up at 4 a.m.
Learning
Yeah.
how to navigate, and being able to observe how things go when you're on set, as an extra, opposed to, now that you are a leading talent, you can actually experience that side of things too. I've
Yeah.
watched
Yeah.
I've watched your acting reels and some of your social media posts, and it's clear that you are good at expressing emotions with your eyes. Is that something that you practice?
Um, I appreciate that. Thank you. Thank you. No, to be honest, that's another thing. Like I said earlier, I learn the lines and then I kind of black out and just do my thing. And then I watch the video after and I'm like, oh, like my eyes were great. Like my eyes did good things. But like when I'm acting, it's kind of just like all out the window and I'm like in that person, in that character. So I
Mhm.
don't think as much as like, oh, make this facial expression, make this facial expression. I just make the facial expressions that I would feel like I would if I was really that person.
Do you practice in the mirror at all, or do you just let the lines take you wherever you feel it should take you?
I will say I have videotaped myself before and then re-videotaped it saying like, oh, I wish I would have said this differently. Um I haven't done the mirror, but I do love a little videotape and going back to see what I what I did.
Let me ask you a few more questions.
Perfect.
Okay. And you're also a model. Um,
Yes.
has any aspects of modeling, and being comfortable in front of the camera helped you with acting?
Yeah, I definitely think it has. I think I started modeling professionally right after high school and I traveled for modeling for a little while and I feel like um that taught me how to push my limits, get myself out of my comfort zone. And it
Mhm.
also taught me how to have relationships with managers and agents and be on time for auditions, castings, stuff like that. I also think modeling taught me a lot of independence
Mhm.
because I was traveling so much by myself. And I think that comes into play for sure when you're acting.
Oh yeah, most definitely. Now that you have representation, a lot will be easy, when it comes to landing the roles, being on time, being punctual, and doing everything that needs to be done because you already have some of that experience behind you from the modeling world, which also can transition into the acting world. Um, what type of roles are you looking for as an actor?
Um, I like strong roles. I like strong women. I think that really sums it up. I would love to play. I would do a chick flick. I would do like a thriller, but as long as the character is strong, or even if maybe not so in the beginning, but at the end she starts to get together a little bit more. I think that is what I want to do. I think it's so important to have strong women as role models in films, especially as a Black woman, biracial woman. I think it's so important. I feel like growing up, I saw like Zendaya or
Yes.
Raven Simone, even Angela Bassett, who's my favorite, my idol. Um, Watching them be these strong leads really inspired me in my life. So I would love to be able to do that for other people.
Mm-hmm. And what would be a dream role for you?
Oh, a dream role. A dream role. That's hard. I would love to, like I said, I would love to be, if I could be in an Angela Bassett movie, that would be amazing. Um, work with Gabrielle Union, something like that. I think that would make my whole entire life.
I'm sure it would. I mean, both of them that you mentioned are incredible actresses. Uh,
Yes.
they've been at it for a very long time, and they are, top tier at their craft. What would you say is next for you?
What's next for me? Well, we're about to do a lot of casting. Strike is about to be done, which I'm so excited. So I've just been waiting every day for Strike to finish up.
I'm sure. I'm sure you have plenty of opportunities that are coming your way. You know, you're going to be pretty busy in the days, weeks, months, years to come. What is the best piece of advice that you've ever received as an actor that you have been able to apply to your craft? Or even if you haven't applied it to your craft just yet, what's a good piece of advice that you have received that you take with you to every audition, every set?
I think it's along the lines of acting, but along the lines of faith. I think just knowing that if it's for you, it will be for you. And God's the universe, whatever you believe in, makes no mistakes. So I go into castings like thinking, if this is for me, it's gonna go great. If it's not for me, that's okay. Um, I think that makes hearing the no's and the rejections a lot easier as well. And I think that's obviously vital in this acting world. And just knowing that you're on the right path, right? And just including faith with acting.
Right, right. What actors do you aspire to be like? I know there's only one Candace Joy, but if there's, and I know you mentioned Angela Bassett and Gabrielle Union,
Mhm.
are those the actresses that you would aspire to be like?
Yes, absolutely. I said Zendaya too. Zendaya,
Yeah, yes.
the way that she played Rue in Euphoria absolutely blew my mind. I loved the way that she could tell people's Rue's story and the way that people related to that character. Um, I think that's what makes a really good actor.
Somewhere in the future, do you see yourself as a writer, director, producer, or do you think you're just going to stick with acting for the time being?
Yeah, so right now I'm acting and I'm really pursuing a music career as well. So I feel like I have my hands very full right now. But of course it has crossed my mind to write or direct maybe in like a 10-year plan.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Or even maybe write a film or a TV series that involves your music, that involves you singing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Speaking of another actor that I love is Issa Rae, who writes and acts. I think that's amazing.
Yes. And so I take it, are you still going to continue modeling as well, or is that on hold?
Yep, I'm still modeling, still acting, singing. We're just going full force ahead right now.
That's awesome. I truly, truly, truly appreciate your time. Um, thank you for being willing to come on and speak with me. I congratulate you on signing with the Green Room, and I look forward to seeing your career grow. And thank you so much for taking the time out to speak with me today. And that is it. Candace Joy.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for having me. I really appreciate it. I love TheBlkScript. I look at your Instagram page every day for all of my updates. So I was so thrilled to be able to talk with you today.
Awesome. I appreciate that. You have a great rest of your day, okay?
Thank you so much. You too. We'll talk soon, okay?
Okay, take care.